out a new piece of equipment. And it's a landscape rake from Hitch.com. Of course, some assembly required, and so we're gonna get started putting this thing together. One thing I might note is that I'm running out of freaking room. I don't want to store my stuff outside, so I'm gonna have to come up with a solution, because it's getting to the point where I ain't got enough room to do nothing. We'll just have to see. Alright, so this thing is well packaged. Drawbar comes pretty much 90% assembled. Looks to be well painted. With a nice pin. Hardware looks to be okay. We'll have to see how that holds up. You pull this pin and this swivels around so you can change the pitch on the rake. Well, not the pitch, but the angle. Of course, looks like there's a bunch of tines to screw on here. Yeah, made in the USA. You don't see that very much. Was it actually made here? I guess so. It's a fairly good grade bolt. Those not so much. Probably end up replacing these, but we'll see how it works out. One thing you got to note is that this does not come with the 3-point attachment, so you will need a receiver or some type hitch. I'm quite sure that Heavy Hitch sells one. I already got one, so I opted to not get it. So this is what I got, and that should slide in here, and we'll pin it that way. And see how this thing looks, man. Pretty cool. Alright, the second box contained the retainer plates, the rake tines, and nuts, bolts, and washers that you need. You're going to need a 9/16 wrench of some kind, probably two. I'm going to use a socket on the impact wrench and an open wrench to hold the bolt still. And we'll start putting this thing together. I don't know the best way to do it, but to me, I'm going to build it upside down and then turn it over. It don't weigh that much. I don't know, 125, 130 pounds, something like that. It ain't that bad. Definitely can move it by hand, at least turn it over. I don't know about moving it a long way by hand, but just to turn it over to line up with the receiver, I'm pretty sure I can manage that. Alright, so you got two bolts that are a little bit longer than the rest of the bolts, and these two bolts go through the top plate. A little bit longer to compensate for this and that, bolted up the same way, but you got two, one on either side. What I'm going to do is loosely put all mine on, and then go and tighten and straighten the whole set as I go. It's going relatively, it's pretty easy to do. Aren't any instructions in the box, but chances are if you can't figure out how to put it together, you probably shouldn't have ordered one that needed to be put together. Alright, so they're all loosely bolted on there. By no means where they need to be. They're all crooked, and just as they are, just laying there. And my plan is to flip this over, slide it into the receiver, pick it up, rotate it, and then run along and tighten everything up and straighten it all in one shot. Alright, so that worked out pretty well. Got it spun all the way around, so I can just work from this side and tighten everything up. Chair, couple wrenches, zip up some bolts. makeshift gauge block, and go around and go between each tine and tighten it up. That way I know they're evenly spaced. Like for instance, you can see that one's got to be tweaked a little bit. So we'll take the baby Lixie and just bump them around and get them where they need to be. See, that one's way tight, which I knew was gonna happen. So not surprised, but I got a remedy. I'm gonna go around. I'll go around and makeshift gauge block all the gaps with this piece of aluminum I got laying in here. That way I know they'll all be the same and make nice pretty rake lines in the dirt. But yeah, that's where we're at on now. That's what it'll take a few minutes to do because this is getting towards the end of it. Alright, that's basically it. All trued up, tightened down. Hey, one thing I do like about this arrangement is I occasionally have trailer issues due to the length of the equipment that I'm trying to move around. So with that, this thing extends out this far, but I'm thinking if I need to make up some room, I can drag that thing up in there like that, at least for transport. Now there ain't no hole there to rake with, have it connected, but to transport that way, and then once you get on the job, pull it back out where it needs to be. So I kind of sort of digging that. It seems to be well built. I don't know what else to say about it. We're gonna put it on some work the next week or so. Got a couple jobs lined up that's gonna need it, and that was the reason I purchased it. But took, I don't know, an hour and 15, 20 minutes, something like that, to put it together. Of course, this piece here was all put together when it came. So I don't know if yours didn't, maybe take you another 15, 20 minutes to do that. Maybe take a little bit longer to do that, but yeah, it's pretty easy. The tines are relatively even. I don't really see an issue with them. I mean, some look a little bit more arced or less arced, maybe a little longer. I can't imagine they're much longer than each other. They'll probably straighten out. First couple times you rake it, they'll probably even up. But I'm happy with the purchase so far. This is the Heavy Hitch 4-foot landscape rake. It's a little bit more narrow than the tractor, but I'm gonna find that to be to my advantage, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have a piece of tractor tire to cover up on the next swipe, but it's not really gonna be an issue. Not for the kind of work I do anyway. And a lot of places I work, you need smaller equipment anyway. I have some jobs I have to turn away because I can't get in there, which is a bad thing, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's getting long-winded. Heavy Hitch 4-foot landscape rock rake, whatever you want to call it. Seems to be pretty decent.